If you aren't watching the Patriot Nurse Sunday night live streams on YouTube, you are truly missing out on some of the best content anywhere on the net, bar none. You can really tell the amount of preparation that goes into these live streams. They're usually around an hour, sometimes more. How she is able to do what she does is just beyond anything I can understand, because I know how much time it takes for me just to create these little 15-minute videos that I do. It is amazing, amazing stuff. It is proactive, thought-based analysis of world events, not reactive like so many other YouTubers. I mean, CNN recently said that fear sells and reactivity sells. That's true, but what she is doing on YouTube right now is top-notch, top-of-the-line content, unlike I have ever seen. And that's kind of going to dovetail with some things that we're going to talk about later. But right now, I would like to share a small clip from this, because she hits a point that I have tried to make poorly over the last few months. She does it so much better than I ever could. She is an incredibly intelligent and educated woman. You really need to be checking this out. So without any further delay, her most recent is titled What You Need to Know, the Next Cycle of History. We're going to start at about the 10:52 mark and not go very long, but she makes a point about financials. So without any further delay, let's listen to the Patriot Nurse.
Economics. Like, economics is the foundation of everything. If you want to get some solid, good reporting, like know where the real news is at, follow the financials. When people have skin in the game, typically they tend to be a little bit more honest about what they're finding. It's true. There's a fantastic book that I read. It's pretty short. You should read it too. It's called Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. Champion poker player. And she makes a good point about this, about how it is that truth and discovery tends to be more accurate whenever people have to ascribe bet to it, and the risk of financial loss, but also the risk of gaining something from it. Thinking in Bets was one of the books that I read that really helped me. I would say that it impacted my life. It certainly impacted the way that I thought. But when you look at the information coming in right now, the financial sector is experiencing a lot of flux right now, not just because of the pandemic, but because you're looking at transitions between generations. The Great Depression, World War II generation, many of them are significantly older at this point. Thank God we still have them. The baby boomers have retired, have been retiring for a while. The oldest millennials, I think, are turning 40 this year. You are in the midst of seeing generations turn right now. And you're at the end of an efficiency cycle, meaning prosperity cycle. And because of this, it is setting us up to be massively unstable. And there's a reason I'm tying all of this in with censorship and why you need to know about where we're going forward.
Now that is just a clip of a stream that is 57 minutes long, but so many great points just in that little minute, 2 minutes that I shared. Primarily about money, and how when it comes down to money, politics goes out the door. This is an almost accurate meme, show me the money. It's really about this. Show me the return on investment. Now, I'm going to ask a question of my audience, and I don't want anyone to take it personally. I want everyone to just think about it critically for just one moment. Just in the last 3 to 4 months, since the new administration has occupied the White House, we have seen the states, primarily in the South, do things that we never thought were possible. Florida suing the federal government on multiple fronts. South Carolina and Arkansas have all but banned abortion. Missouri has stood up its militia. Nebraska has declared itself a Second Amendment sanctuary state. Texas has rolled back virtually all restrictions. The amount of things Montana has done, I can't even list, that stand against everything the federal government is trying to do. All of the southern states are taking these incredible steps to promote conservatives and conservative values and Christian values. I've only listed a few. There are many, many others. Now the question is, why didn't all of this happen during the Trump administration? Why did it take something like what occurred in 2020 in November for the states to finally stand up and say enough's enough? We are going to govern ourselves the way our people want us to govern. This is the way the country was supposed to work. D.C. was supposed to be just this administrative, so why it's not a state? It's an administrative district with limited powers, specifically delineated in the Constitution, with a caveat that even says only the things that we have specifically delineated to the federal government can they do. Everything else falls to the states. Everything else falls to the states. And now we're seeing the states stand up and assert themselves. If this is what it took, I'm all for it. If this is what it took, I'm all for it. I'm glad Mr. Trump is home here in the state of Florida. I'm glad he's had the opportunity to be a grandfather and to be a father and to come back into the private sector and the private world. I'm sure a lot of you would have preferred he remain in D.C., but to me, D.C. is a lost cause. As are many other states, case in point. Do I have those pictures up? Give me 1 second here. Where is it? Well, I thought I had it up here for just a second. I guess I don't. Wait a minute. Here it is. Okay. Not only did the governor of Michigan's COO travel to Florida and take pictures, as did her director of, I believe, health services, travel to Gulf Shores, Alabama. Now it has come out that the governor of Michigan herself came and visited the state of Florida at some point in the last 6 months, but more than a month ago, to visit her ailing father. Now, we send prayers, of course, to her father, and we don't wish any ill will on either the governor or her father. We strongly, in the most stark terms, disagree with the way that she has treated her people up in the state of Michigan. But now we can see. Now we can see clearly that what, quote unquote, America is ever going to be in the future is going to be directly dependent on how the states themselves are governed. D.C. is going to have nothing to do with it. You couldn't have a more stark contrast between Michigan and Florida right now. Might as well be two different countries. While our tax revenue projections are in the stratosphere, far beyond what anyone thought we would be achieving, and that's with one of our biggest industries closed down, the cruise lines. New York, Michigan, they are rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. It is so bad financially. That's the point I have wanted to make for a long time, that I think the Patriot Nurse did a lot better job of. It's about the money. And that's really going to be the case. You're never going to, going forward, be able to say that America is going to suffer this or America is going to suffer that. There are going to be states that suffer certain fates, and there are going to be states that flourish and prosper and are happy, and that's going to exist in the same time in real time. And if it were up to me, there would be a weak, pathetic beta person sitting in the chair in the West Wing from now ad infinitum into the future, so that the states could remain powerful and clearly delineate who they are. I don't think anybody in the state of Michigan is under any delusion about who their governor is. Same thing in Florida. Nobody is hiding behind DC anymore. All of these leftists have now had to out. They have had to reveal themselves. Pennsylvania has revealed itself. Wisconsin has revealed itself. Michigan has revealed itself. Just like South Carolina, Arkansas, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Texas, Florida, even Georgia has fixed its voting problems. And I'm sure we're going to see a return to proper Republican conservative governance in the next elections. We're seeing this across the country. The delineation between good and evil, right and wrong, proper governance and poor governance. And then based on that, people can choose. And that's the best news ever for me. An amazing, amazing live stream that hits the exact right chords. How she does this for an hour a week, I have no idea. It is just a level beyond me. But then again, I've only been on YouTube for 3 to 4 years. She's been on YouTube for a decade. So, she's eminently more qualified to speak on a lot of these topics than I am. So 7:30 p.m. on Sunday evenings, Patriot Nurse. Follow her, like, share, subscribe her. The more people listening, the better. God bless all of y'all. Patriot Nurse, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thank you.